And so we come to the end, not just of the season for Wigan in the Premier League, but also the end of the series overall. These are the final two games of the series, and if you thought today was going to be last minute drama, oh, are we going to stay up? Are we going to go down? Sorry to disappoint you, but survival has long since been secured. Hello and welcome to episode 27 and the final episode of Unemployed to Legend with Wigan Athletic. My name is Craig, and come up in today's episode, the final two Premier League games of the season, away, both of them away actually, at Tottenham and West Bromwich Albion. And since the last time you were with me, in fact you can probably see it already from the league table on the screen, in fact if I just make it bigger, we have secured survival. Check. Now, all that remains is to see how high up the league we can actually finish. Officially, we could finish as high as what position? 8th? No, 9th. Sorry, there's only 2 games for us to go. We could finish as high as 9th, and we'd only finish as low as 12th, which happens to be Arsenal, which still boggles the mind that they're right behind us. But whatever, that kind of says how good of a season we've had. Effectively, we are now mid-table and we've secured survival with minimum 46 points at the moment, mainly because of the form of our team ever since the beginning of April. Now, I said in April, with these 5 games, we needed to achieve at least 3 victories to secure survival. We've gone and outdone that. We secured survival with 4 victories. Obviously, we saw the Norwich and Newcastle games in the last episode. We then lost to Burnley 1-0, which was kind of frustrating. We didn't deserve to lose that. But then we beat Sheffield United away 2-1 and absolutely smashed Bournemouth 6-1. That was the game that secured survival. I was thinking I'd come back for that, but I really didn't want to drag out the season any longer than it already has. I know it's a relegation battle, but I just didn't want to drag it out, to be honest. We then had Liverpool, Manchester United, and I thought just get these 2 games done before the final 2. And amazingly, we drew 0-0 against Liverpool, even though they put out their reserves against us. So they took us lightly. And then we beat Manchester United, which effectively handed Liverpool the league title anyway. So now it's just a question of finishing the season as well as possible. Effectively, hopefully, a nice little celebration. I'm not expecting much from these 2 games, but you never know with this squad. So, just going to introduce to you the starting 11. Effectively hasn't really changed, apart from Williams back from suspension, although he came back against United. And where is he? Tiedemann Mengi should be on the bench. Yeah, I'll put him in. I'll keep Canedo on the bench anyway, but I'm going to have Mengi come in as well on the bench. So, this is the starting 11. Archer in goal, Armini, Williams, Johnson and Naginda in defence. This will be Naginda's final 2 games for the club. Scowen and Joe Williams in the midfield with Bowler on the left-hand side. He's done very, very well out there, thankfully. Theo in attacking midfield, where he has started to really show what he's about. A stunning long-range goal that he scored against Bournemouth. Absolutely sensational. Had me out of my seat, literally. The Shabler on the right-hand side and Jones as the sole striker up front. Both have been very influential in that winning run, naturally. Jones has started scoring a lot of goals, thankfully, including a hat-trick against Bournemouth, where he rounded off that hat-trick with a nice little chip over the goalkeeper, which got me clapping for him. Right, so we're going to pump the fists here, and actually we beat Tottenham last time, didn't we? So I can't use the Let's Avenge the previous results, which I've been doing a lot recently. I've been on a good run lately. Let's motivate. This is what I've also been doing recently as well. I've been going through individuals and effectively just saying, yo, I've got faith in you. Pumping the fists at the same time. And for the defenders, yeah, that's it. They're nicely motivated. Right, so Tottenham seem to have, they've put out a full strength squad. Naturally, I think they're mid-table as well. They've had quite a poor season, if anything. But effectively, what we'll do during these two games, we'll just go over how I feel the season has actually gone, because it's been overall, it's been a difficult season. But then we knew that since day one. A newly promoted team coming into the Premier League for the first time in 9 years. And it was always literally a case of get to 40 points as quickly as possible and secure survival. We've done that. It took a long time, but we did indeed do that, and a very close shot by Williams there. But overall, as far as the players go, they've given everything this season. Yes, it's been sloppy, especially defence. I've said all season our defence is going to be so sloppy. That has been the case, unfortunately. But again, newly promoted side, we're always going to struggle in that area, especially with unproven defenders in the Premier League. All of them were unproven. Except Nicola Armini, actually Armini I'll count in there as well. He only played 3 times for Burnley, but he's had a fantastic season. He's really come leaps and bounds. He's now a Premier League worthy player, and I'm very happy for him. Tottenham are 1-0 up. Is anyone really surprised at this stage? Kind of, based on recent form, but yeah, that just shows really how much our defence was always going to struggle this season. But thankfully, the attack eventually came through, and I'm looking, in particular, yeah, show me something else in the second half, guys. Naginda's kind of demotivated. I've got Mengi, thankfully, waiting in the wings. But in particular, Jones and Le Chabla, especially in the last month, they really came good in terms of contributing goals, scoring a lot of goals in the meantime as well. Theo, I did say in the last episode, I really wasn't impressed with Theo as much. But as mentioned not the last game, but a few games ago against, who was it against? Bournemouth. Cracking goal. But it's not just that, his link-up play with Jones became very, very good. I was really impressed. And it's a shame that he's going to be going back anyway to Real Madrid at the end of the season, but I mean, what else can you really expect? Real Madrid are obviously going to keep a player like that, even though his father, Zidane, is not actually there anymore. And you know what, we're going to give Mengi some time on the pitch, and you know what, we're going to play him at centre-back. He hasn't played centre-back in such a long time. Le Chabla has proven to be an excellent signing. Shobolev, not so much. He's only scored 6 goals this whole season. I think he's been a bit of a flop. Although this was his first season in England. So I feel once he learns to speak English fluently, which he still doesn't, he's still basic. But it is what it is. 6 goals, I suppose, is okay for your first season in the Premier League, and thankfully Jones was the one who carried the can in terms of the goals. I think he got about 16, 17 goals so far this season. In fact, actually, we can have a look at that. Who is the top? I mean, he's the top scorer. 18. Jones has 18 overall this season, and then it's Le Chabla on 8. And then you got El Hilali, Shobolev, Lang, and that's it on 6. Everyone else, like, nowhere near. Right. Final game of the season coming up. Was a disappointing loss against Tottenham, but this is more or less a season review at this point. So we'll see you back for West Brom. Second game now against West Bromwich Albion. And this is now the final game with Wigan Athletic. In fact, it's not just of the season. I will get into that once we get the game started. There's only been one change to the starting 11. Davenport comes back in place of Scowen, just to give him really one final game for this season. Other than that, it's as you were as per the game against Tottenham. A defeat against Tottenham, I'm hoping, is not too alarming. I mean, granted, it was only 1-0, but still, the form that we were on recently, it's just a shame that we didn't get anything from that game. Right, we're going to pump the fists. Let's see who's motivated off that. A few players are. We'll still do the same tactic as what we did in the last game. Pump the fists individually. Say, I have faith in you. And for the attackers, wonderful. Right. So, officially, this is not only the last game of the season, as I mentioned, it's also the last time that I'll be managing Wigan Athletic. Not just because the series is ending, even if I wasn't going to end the series, I'd actually already announced I was leaving at the end of the season. I decided, you know what, if we manage to get Wigan to survive, this would probably be as far as I can get this team to go. because as much as we'll be an established Premier League team for next season, it's going to be very difficult to get in any players, I feel, who will immediately make that sort of difference, if that makes sense. They'll have potential, but it's going to take a while for them to even start to show anywhere near that. And also, as much as it's more money for Wigan this whole season, I mean, we're making profit. We should have around, what, 80-90 million pounds in the bank at the end of this season. Lovely goal by Ricky J. Jones. And I'm absolutely going to miss this man. I really am. I consider him, I'm going to say, the second best signing, actually. I'm going to say the second best signing. My best signing, in my eyes, Darnell Johnson. I can't think of a better leader, to be honest, that I'd have captaining this team. Le Chabelaar is also a very good shout. I'll say he's my third best player overall. If you really want, that's going to be my top three. Le Chabelaar, Ricky J. Jones, and Darnell Johnson. And the good thing is they didn't cost a massive amount of money. I think the most expensive was Ricky J. Jones at £1.2 million. Good bargains overall for the team, for the club, and they've done the team an absolute service this entire season. And there you go, Ricky J. Jones assisted by Darnell Johnson with the ball just going over Le Chabelaar's head. He's making a nuisance of himself. The main three, as far as I'm concerned, this season, and I'm absolutely in love with all three of them with this squad. Absolutely amazing players. Very cheap for the back to the finances. In fact, those three, they were very cheap, along with large parts of the rest of the squad. Cheaper players, but they've got a lot of value, a lot of sell-on value, because they're all still quite young. Johnson, I think, is about 23. Ricky J. Jones is 19/20. Le Chabelaar's early 20s. I think the oldest player is Jamie Jones, and he's like my third choice goalkeeper now. Bowler could have done a lot better there. Could have done a lot better, but again, defence is not that great. But overall, this club can make a lot of money. They will actually make a lot of money just being in the Premier League again next season. I've left them in a fantastic place at the end of the day. Took them from League One in administration when I joined, by the way. Remember that? And they're now in the Premier League, raking in the money. Right, this team is going to be seriously flush for the next few seasons, and Johnson just heading against the post there. But the future of Wigan Athletic looks very bright, and I'm happy to be a big part of that. Really happy. Let's keep it gestureless, I think. I'm happy with your performance. Yeah, now we'll inspire them. Not defensively, but we've looked a bit of a threat. In fact, we looked very much a threat. We scored twice, remember that. But I like to think I've left this club in a good place for the next manager to come in and say, okay, we do need to make improvements. However, we've got a good base to go on. And I honestly believe that is truly the case. So now I believe the challenge, there is another challenge for me to do, and I do already have another team. Just in case I ever bring this series back. I probably shouldn't have said that. Jones could have had his hat-trick there. Probably shouldn't have said that, but I've got another team just in case I do bring this series back. Because you never know. The only reason I'm ending this series now is purely because of time commitments, you know, long shifts at work. I work as a bus driver, 10 hours a day. I need some form of rest at some point. I really do need to just rest sometimes. And as much as I'll still be doing videos anyway on this channel, and I'm more than happy to, because I enjoy making videos, I enjoy talking about Football Manager, I enjoy learning about this whole experience of making videos, editing them, putting them together, and watching stories unfold such as this. I very much enjoy it. I really do. And I don't want that to end. But it's just a question of sitting back, relaxing, doing some other videos, and just see what we can do. Right, I was going to say I'm going to make one more change. We've got like literally, what, 5 minutes? So for the last time this season, we're going to have Shoblev come on for the last 5 minutes. I'd actually laugh if he scored the winner. That would actually be ironic. I doubt he will. If anything, yeah, we're going to finish with a draw. We're not going out with a great bang, to be honest with you, but you know what? It's better than a kick in the teeth. Yeah, you proved a lot of people wrong. For the final time this season, the final team talk. Thank you, Wigan. But we'll go to the league table properly. Just off the back of this. Right. There's the league table. There it is. Confirmation. Final league position of the season. We finish 11th with 47 points. To be honest with you, if you'd given me 17th at the beginning of the season, I would have snapped your hands off for it. So 11th place is an absolutely fantastic position. I wonder, does it say in here what you get prize money wise? Let's have a look. Okay, so prize money from 8th to 17th effectively is the same, £25 million. That's huge. And look at the bank balance already. I told you, I left them in a good position. We're over the wage budget, but who cares? We've survived. The wage budget will more than be covered by the prize money that's coming in. We've made a profit this month of 23 million. 48 million in the bank. That's just horrendously brilliant. The projection as well is looking good. 145 million pounds in the next few years, next couple of years actually, assuming Wigan do stay in the Premier League. But I think even with parachute payments, if they went down, they're swimming in money. Right, I'm going to come back for the season review, and we'll wrap up this series the proper way. And so, for the final time, the season review for Wigan Athletic 2021-22 season. So, new signings wise, the overall best player, Nicolo Armini. Yeah, I can kind of agree with that. It says 22-year-old centre back. He's played at left back the entire season, and to be honest with you, he's done a very good job there. He was the replacement in the end for Reece James and Reece Devine, who ended up going out on loan in January. I'm not sure if I actually said that before, but overall, massively impressed with Armini, and the board believes so as well. Very, very happy with that. Canedo did very well. Joe Williams, he found form in the second half of the season, contributing 8 assists overall. For £6 million, you might say he's a bit of an overspend, but he's done okay. Canedo, 20-year-old centre back, 500,000. He was a very, very good price from Barcelona B. But the bargain this season for me has to be Jacob Davenport, defensive midfielder. He played as a ball-winning midfielder the whole season. Bar the times he got suspended, he was very impressive. For £74,000, that was an incredibly stupid price to pay for him, but stupidly low price that is. But I'm more than happy. Daniel Bachmann was just disappointing. I chased him, and I don't know why, to be honest. Archer was more than capable at this level. El Hilali, he did well, but he just tailed off at the end of the season. I don't know if that's because end of season. Either way, he's 19-year-olds. He's a 19-year-old fullback / attacking winger. For £3 million, he's still a bargain, because you can easily sell him on for a higher price. Shobolev, flop. Already said it this episode, he flopped, but it's only his first season in England. 6 goals, 2 assists. If he did stay, he might get better, but question marks over him, to be honest. Theo's on loan, but he's done okay. Second half of the season, he helped us. He just kind of helped us, gave that little bit of extra quality in the attack in third. Samad Honor, flop. He didn't even play that much, to be honest. So confirmation, we have avoided relegation, as already seen, to be honest. Fight bravely against relegation was the expectation, and we finished 11th. Overachieved. Fantastic. And we were only as high as 10th like the whole season, so yeah, 11th place was absolutely fine. I'll take that. Almost maxed out the home attendance at 23,813 average attendance. Ricky J Jones with 18? I thought he had 18. Oh, 17 in the league. Okay, that's fine. Moments to remember. Yep, smashing Bournemouth to clinch survival. That's our biggest win as well of the season. Match to remember, the 3-2 away win. That was our first away win of the season against Newcastle. And of course the goal of the season from Theo, a rocket from outside the area. Pity I can't show you that goal because that had me out of my seat. I was ecstatic to see that. As far as the finances go, we've already seen they've made a chunk of money. £48 million in the bank. Probably going up to £145 million in the next 2 years. All revenue is up from sponsorship, broadcast revenue, corporate hospitality, the competition prize money. What, £20 million this season, up from 800,000. That's a bit of a difference. A little bit of a difference. The match day revenue was up a little bit as well. Very nice. No new sponsorship deals. I feel that's got to change for next season, surely. Whoever comes in. But that's the board to deal with anyway. We've made 648,000 on total merchandise sales, 11,000 shirts sold. Shobolev was actually the most popular. Quite surprised by that. I thought Jones or Le Chabler would be, with Williams and Armini also very popular. So the best 11 for Wigan this season: Archer in goal, Armini, Canado, Williams and Johnson in defence. Canado and Williams couldn't play well together, so really just save one of them, along with Darnell Johnson and Naginda on the right hand side. Davenport and Williams in midfield, that's fine. Bowler, Theo, Le Chabler across the attacking midfield area, or Bowler on the left, Theo in the middle, Le Chabler on the right. And Jones as the the sole attacker, which, yes, for a man who legitimately got 20 goals the whole season. Oh, he scored 2. Yeah, he scored 2 on the final day. So 20 goals for Jones in his first season in the Premier League. That's a big achievement. Le Chabler with 8. Only Archer, in fact, everyone apart from Archer in that starting 11 has contributed a goal or scored a goal this season. That's quite an achievement. And for the accolades, I've won the Manager of the Month for April. That's fine. Should win Manager of the Season. I committed a miracle for Wigan, to be honest. Fans Player of the Season, Rhys Williams. He was also the Young Player of the Season. Signing of the Season, Armini. That's fine. Goal of the Season, Theo, as we already know. Pity we can't see it. Jones as top goal scorer of 20. Williams with the most assists on 8. That's still quite low. And most Player of the Match awards, Jones again with 6. And Rhys Williams is the highest rated player on average, 7.1. And Williams the most passes. To be fair, he was my deep line playmaker. What do you expect? Record breakers, most goals by player in a match, Jones, who got a hat-trick. So he's the first player to score a hat-trick for us. That's quite incredible. And also, yeah, most goals by a player in a league match. So that was that hat-trick against Bournemouth. And most assists by a player in a season. 8! I thought we had more than that. That's a bit shocking. I'm pretty sure we had someone with a higher amount of assists in the Championship. The EFL Young Player of the Year went to Tiezen Mengi, which is quite surprising because he's missed half the season. And that is it. That is the end of Unemployed to Legend, certainly with Wigan. If the series does come back, we will be with a new team. I'm just going to say that now, but I'm not going to reveal who the team is. That will be a surprise for if and when I bring the series back. I hope you've really enjoyed this series. I've massively enjoyed it. It's also been the first time I've ever been promoted. I've ever got through the lower leagues, or League One, into the Championship, and then into the Premier League. And it's also the first time I've ever survived a relegation battle in any league, let alone the Premier League. So a lot of firsts for me. It was a stressful season. It's Football Manager. It's a game. Why is it stressful? But it was really enjoyable. It really tested the skills that I had to the max, and probably, hopefully, added a lot more. I hope you found it entertaining. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I hope if survival was something that you wanted to see, I hope it was. I hope you wasn't hoping for a relegation. But if you really enjoyed the series, if you really enjoyed the fact that we survived, make sure to leave a like down below and click subscribe for more Football Manager content, especially in simulations and experiments coming up. Thank you all so much for watching. In fact, I say that, let's do the intro properly. If you enjoyed that video, make sure to hit the like button down below and click subscribe for more Football Manager content. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.